Ready for biting. Last battle, more biting. New Warwick is cool in TFT. By the
Yeah,
way.
he is. He really is. He was always. I always like making him an elder one.
Yeah.
It's fun. Okay.
Last TFT, more Runeterra.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Runeterrable Radio. I am Blevins, and with me, as always, is Saucy Mailman. What's up, buddy?
Hey, dude, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We are revitalized, rejuvenated, and actually probably the opposite of that, considering it's
All
like
of it.
that.
All of it.
It's that week. It's that week where it's like you start the week and it's like it's a holiday week. You know, we've got Thanksgiving in the U.S. here on Thursday, and it's like, well, yeah, you don't really want to you don't want to get too deep into anything because you're only going to have like 2.5 days to do it because no one's doing anything after lunch on Wednesday. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter if you're staying home if you're staying inside and home for the holidays, if you're being safe and seeing family or what have you. It doesn't matter what your plans are. You are not doing anything after lunch on Wednesday. Let's be completely honest.
No, yeah. I mean, I started my holiday week early in February. So
Well, you also started your holiday week by entering a new world, the world of Warcraft.
Yeah. I have a real problem. We were talking about this before the show. So this is like I'm having an insane amount of fun in Legends of Runeterra, and like there's a lot of stuff I want to play and a lot of stuff I want to do right now, but I have other things fighting for my time right now.
Yeah.
And I've become hopelessly addicted to teamfight tactics. I've been playing it a lot, but also the new WoW expansion came out yesterday. And that's kind of the only thing I can think of at the moment. I'm spending too much of my time looking up more information than needs. So it's bad. It's bad.
It's funny. It's kind of the opposite for me. I have had over the past, I don't know, a few months, I've had like different things that have popped up. I was playing a lot more TFT before. I was playing like the Marvel Avengers game, the like console game. I was playing that for a bit. And then like, I don't know what it was. I like flipped a switch and just went like super hard mode Runeterra and like no-lifed it and have been no-lifing it for a while, which is great because I get to cast it too. So I'm like playing and casting, which is fun. But like I've been playing, this is the first time I've actually like played after I got into Masters. Almost every other season I've like, well, last season I got to Masters on like the second to last day, so I guess that doesn't really count. But even before that, when I got it earlier, I would be like, okay, I hit the tippy top of the mountain. Okay, let's go back down. Or like, okay, now I can play other stuff. Like it was like a release.
Stupid stuff.
Yeah, well, I can play stupid stuff, or like I'll play normals, or I'll just play a different game altogether. Like I won't even play Runeterra. But for whatever reason, maybe it's the seasonal tournaments, which I don't know. Like it doesn't matter what my rank is on even considering the seasonal tournament. It doesn't matter what my rank is. I've just been playing. I think it's just that leaderboard. Something about it has been keeping me in and playing in ranked. And it's almost like it's like the best of both worlds somehow. Where like I don't actually care about my ladder rank. So like if I go down to 0 LP, it's whatever, don't really care. And if I climb, that's cool too. I get a nice cool screenshot when I hit my, my top. But I like being able to play and like feeling good about winning, but also not caring if you lose. It's like the actual perfect spot. And I don't know what brought about this. It's certainly something internally for me. Like my mental is good for playing it. I don't know what happened, but I'm glad it did because I've been having a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah. I mean, that's when it's the most fun though, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think actually, well, I'm going to put a pin in that because it goes into a deeper point about some of the stuff that has been added to the client, and we'll also be talking about the patch notes. But before we do that, Saucy, I wanted to do our little housekeeping here, and we got a brand new patron, and this is a monster. Monster patron, Saucy. Pug Ugly came in with the that's $50 patron. Thank you so much, Pug Ugly. Really appreciate it. It means the world to us. It's absolutely mind-blowing that someone has done that, and huge shout outs to Pug as well. And you can, of course, do the same, or I mean, please don't. You don't need to be a $50 patron. You can be any level of patron over at patreon.com/RuneTerrableRadio. But I mean, huge thanks to Pug. Like, really, my jaw dropped when I saw that email.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Huge thanks, Pug Ugly. You know I love your face. So yeah, you're beautiful.
You're beautiful, despite you're ironically beautiful considering your name is literally Pug Ugly. But really awesome.
It's a joke, you know.
Oh, that's the joke. But that actually reminds me, Saucy, and I didn't bring this up at all beforehand, so we're talking about it live. We gotta record one of these off-topic podcasts one of these days.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I feel like the off-topic podcast, what we do is just record before we say we're gonna record. The pre-show. Because they get all over the place and spicy. So
yeah, it's so.
Oh, we need to do another spicy episode too.
Oh yeah, everyone loved the rated R for Runeterra.
Yeah, that was fun. The Tom Kinch special.
Tom motherfucking Kinch, bitch.
You can still get it on other days, except it will be.
I'm Tom motherfucking Kinch, bitch.
Yeah, that's the normal, right?
Yeah, that's the normal. We still say bitch. And also, we say fucking the first time, but
yeah, but then we censor the second time.
But the second one is censored.
For continuity errors.
If you want both to be uncensored, let us know.
Patrons get the both uncensored live. It's really weird they get this technology that makes it not censored in the live show.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not true.
I mean, I think for the first one, we'll certainly just kind of riff and do whatever and just talk about shit. But if you have any topics, that you want us to talk about, let us know in the Discord, because it can really be anything. There's certain things that we're not going to talk about, but suggest whatever you want.
Things that are like anything that we're under NDA and can't talk about.
Oh yeah, certainly can't talk about that. And there's and things that I don't want to talk about, I'm just not going to. So, but feel free to
But if you want me to talk about the entire backstory of Night Striker, and like their origin, let me know, because I'll talk about that all day.
If you want me to talk about how great the new Animaniacs on Hulu is, hashtag not an ad, though would love to do an ad for Animaniacs. I will talk about it because that show's fucking amazing. And it holds up. It's just as good as it was in 1998. Completely. I was just watching it. That's why it's on my mind. But okay, so enough about the housekeeping again. Huge shout outs. Thank you again to Pug Ugly. Let me know what you want on the show, because you obviously do get a message, so let us know on Discord or wherever, and we'll get it on a future episode. Okay, so what I was talking about before that brief interlude was, I think, one of the big things that they added to the client that really, and we talked about it a little bit before, but it really has like increased my personal immersion with the game and the metagame and the master ladder itself, is the fact that on the leaderboard, you can look at what people have been playing. You can check what the top people's decks are. And now it's not like updated immediately. And I don't even necessarily think it's the most recent deck. I don't really know what that factor is, but it's like you actually get a direct line into what the metagame kind of is. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool feature. I always forget it exists until we talk about it on the show, and then I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's really, really cool. I love it.
I mean, for me, I probably spend too much time on it. Like I when I'm in, like, half of my time in the Runeterra client is me just looking at the ladder and looking at different stuff. Like, It's so good. But yeah, if you didn't know about that, you can go when you hit play, you can go down to leaderboard and you can just check the top of the ladder. You can check the master ladder and see what people are playing. If you hit the inspect button, it will show the deck, and you can actually import the deck directly too, which is just like, it's just such a
That's like a
no-brainer
huge
thing.
quality of life thing too,
Yeah.
right? Like you can be like, oh, this looks like an interesting, especially if it's an interesting idea, or like
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, I don't know what a list for this looks like, but I know that Blevins was playing this list, so you
Yeah.
can just go and take theirs. Like it's really cool. I love that ability.
Yeah, I mean, for better or for worse, like I still, follow obviously Mobalytics and Runeterra decks and decks of Runeterra and all those channels on Twitter. And I always like to look through those to see if anyone has posted anything that's kind of interesting or cool. But like, I can just look directly. Hey, what is Glop playing on the ladder? What is Nick Makes Plays playing? What is Mo playing on the ladder? I can see it directly. And when Mo on his stream says that TK Soraka is trash, and I look at his profile and it says that he's playing TK Soraka, I get to call him out not one but 2 episodes in a row.
I mean, this is going to be, I think, every episode now. It'll just be a recurring thing.
Mm-hmm. We got to get him back on one of these days too. I love Mo. I've been watching a lot. I've been watching a lot of Mo. I believe it's twitch.tv/emotional. With
MOE.
Yeah, MOE. You guys can figure it out. He was on the show before. Check him out. He's been he's been a blast to watch. But Saucy, we did get a new patch.
Like literally yesterday. Which is really cool, and it brings some more. It's like not a big balance patch because we talked about how they're not going to do another big balance patch for a bit, but we got some pretty cool quality of life stuff, some innovative things, and something that I really like is the introduction to player profiles. Which is really really cool. So I can't remember if this was just Umbridge said they were wanting to do more with this or if they confirmed it. So I don't remember, but I know that I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more, and this is just like the start of the player profiles. So this isn't like finished.
Right.
But it's pretty sweet. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I was looking at it before. Again, half of my time in the client is spent just looking at the top ladder. I found today that I have more Guardians than every player in the top 50 ladder of Master Ladder of NA. I have the most Guardians of any of them. There's someone who's close.
Oh,
I have 20. I have 26 Guardians, which that's
a lot.
It's a lot of Guardians. Most people have like 5 or 6. Someone I think had 22. Yeah, you only have T-Hex. You deleted your original Poro.
I deleted everything but the Twilight Drake or whatever his
name
is.
Oh, yes.
The Infernal Drake. That's the only one I have.
Yes. As long as you deleted T-Hex, I'm happy. And that stupid bug.
He's still there. I tried to delete him, but it was soul bound to my account.
You tried to delete him, but he was at 8/8, and you just couldn't do it. You only had 7 mana for your Thermo Beam.
Yeah, true. Yep. Shit.
But yeah, I think it very much feels like a kind of a placeholder thing, because it's like, I don't care how many cards you have, like that's not something that's really interesting or relevant.
But it's really cool for players. Like I know this has been a huge hit in Discord, and I've seen Reddit explode, people being able to see the percentage complete of their regions and cards and everything. And it's really cool. I think it was Cosine Joe that had like 99% from Targon and couldn't find the one card they're missing. It was like a Porofly for like hours, like climbing through, like, where's the one card I don't have?
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so it's been really really cool. I love this idea. Something I really hope, I don't know if I'm sure they have plans for this. I'm hoping, but I want like an autocomplete button where you can go in and be like, hey, I'm missing 10% for all your cards. Just complete the collection with
how many shards does it cost? Yeah, or how many wild cards? Yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah, or like when a new set comes out, if you have all the currency, like you could just click make the set. Done.
Yeah, I think that would be a big quality of life thing, but also I kind of like the beginning of set. Like,
I'm lazy
going through. I am also lazy, and it's also annoying because it gives you that like weird like amount of like You click you click the card to craft, and then you click the 3 cards to spend the wild cards, and then there's that little like, I don't know, like 1.5 pause. That's the most frustrating thing, is that little pause, right? You know what I'm talking about? That is the most frustrating part, is that. And I'm sure that it's some sort of like graphical loading thing, but like, although I guess it's probably server side, considering that my gaming PC and phone load that at the same rate. Like, it's always that same like 1.5 seconds or whatever, that it, or you know, however long it actually is. It's always that same amount. But yeah, I do really like this. I think it's cool. I mean, it's cool to see the progression. It was less cool for me because I have everything. It's just like these regions are completed, all of them. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, all of them.
It was cool to see how many cosmetics I have. I wish it would show me how much money I've wasted and just like have a little like Poro laughing at me. That would be the biggest. That would be the best. But what the one thing I really want is I want it to show how many shards you have. I want to flex the shard numbers.
Yeah, same though. Same. I mean, it's still like the same. Every day I go through and try to get my daily quest higher, like more, because you know, for when things come out, I need to have more currency. I just want maximum currency at all times, even though like experience doesn't. There's nothing I'm like trying to get experience for.
Yeah.
I just always have to maximize these currencies that don't even matter.
I need to have more of these shards so that I can spend one of my 500 rare wild cards.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see that stuff, just because it's like, I mean, it's just numbers on a thing, but like I don't know. I think all of these little things have culminated in me like feeling more immersed in it, and like it feels better and like more complete than even Hearthstone ever did after years and years. This was like the progression I was hoping for, like in 2015 for Hearthstone. Like I was hoping that these things would start coming, and they never did. Yeah. I talked about it a few episodes. I literally wrote an article about how I would love to see a Hearthstone tournament mode in 2015, and Runeterra has already talked about eventually doing that, and we're getting something like that for the seasonal tournaments. Yep. So really, really exciting. I mean, not to mention, of course, our talks with Umbridge 2 episodes ago. If you have not listened to that episode, highly, 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 highly recommend you listen to our interview with Umbridge, because it was just like so insightful and like such a, I mean, I'm already breathing a lot of breaths of fresh air, but it was an even bigger additional breath of fresh air to hear his perspectives on things, and like his vision for the game was just like, I'm sold. Like I was already sold, but now I'm like super sold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, but it's same thing. Just mirroring what you said, it was good stuff. Yeah, and back to the patch. Like,
yeah,
this is really cool. Just getting, you know, these things that like they're kind of like quote unquote small improvements to the game, quality of life things, but like they do add a lot of life to the game and to the client itself. Like 1v1 card games can inherently be lifeless and lonely, right? Because you spend your whole life just battling one dude. So when we have all these things to like be able to see what other people are doing, being able to spectate other people's games, having, you know, social interactions with friends, it helps a lot, especially right now when everyone's like craving a human interaction anyways.
Yeah, it is definitely like it. I don't know how they would ever do it, because like Discord is so like ubiquitous in the community, but like if they could make Runeterra like have a community feel to it inside the game, and maybe it doesn't, maybe that's not, you know, shouldn't be the goal. It maybe should just be like like kind of like our Discord over at discord.me/Runeterrable Radio feels like a community, and we're, you know, all connecting via Runeterra. And I think, I mean, to transition into another part of the patch, we got the new lab, recursive heroes, and I mean, first thing that I think a lot of people thought is like, oh, this is Runeterra EDH.
Yeah.
Like, let's see.
So your champion always starts in your hand.
Yes.
When your champion is killed, it becomes imprisoned in a landmark that spawns in its place.
Yep.
And then a jailer will spawn on your opponent's side of the board. As your champion is imprisoned, you kill your opponent's jailer to revive your champ the next round.
Yep. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is really cool. One thing, and I haven't gotten a chance to play this mode yet, but just, I mean, first thing is like, yeah, that's Runeterra-esque EDH, right? Like that's what it feels like. Right off the bat. I mean, it's singleton. You have your champion, right? Like it's there. A couple of things that or one thing that jumps out to me is like the jailer mechanic seems cool, but it makes me think that like Shadow Isles and P&Z, I guess each region has their own way of dealing with units, but like unless the jailer has like a special ability that I don't know about, like deal 2 damage to your opponent and it will kill the jailer. If it's just a unit, maybe it has vulnerable. I don't know. So I might be speaking out of turn. But even so, like it seems like because of that mechanic, it inherently like Shadow Isles is stronger in this. Okay, Chad is saying it has vulnerable, so that at least gives each region a chance to kill it. But like even so, it's like, yeah, Shadow Isles can more easily kill it. So like Shadow Isles feels like it's better in this, but.
Yeah, it's I haven't played it yet. I'm excited to, just because I mean anyone who knows my Magic background, EDH is my favorite way to play Magic. I love it. And this definitely has that EDH flavor and or vibe to it. So I'm excited to give it a go. I'm very, very excited about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even like if this, it's called Recursive Heroes 101. Even if this mode specifically isn't like the perfect mode, it's so cool that they're putting something like this in. And like it's ironic because my biggest thing when Hearthstone put out Tavern Brawls was like, all this is me spending 10 minutes and getting a pack. I don't care what it is, because like some of them are cool, like you get to play as Ragnaros, or like you get to play as a different hero or whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, I'm just playing it to get my 1 pack and that's it. You don't even get anything from playing the lab. It's just there for fun. But it's so much more impactful to me as a player because it just shows like they're actually looking to branch out in like and use the game, use the cards as an engine rather than just the 1v1 Runeterra mode.
Mm-hmm.
So it like the labs are really exciting. I think that is a huge differentiator for like compared to a Hearthstone or even an MTG Arena, where it's like, yeah, right now it's mostly almost entirely focused around the 1v1 competitive experience, but like that's just the building block, and they're already starting to branch out from that, a year barely into it.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff like this that make me continually forget that the game is still so much in its infancy, right?
Yeah.
Like the game is not as old as it feels like it has been.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like it's like, yeah, this game's been around for years, right? And it's like, no, like it really hasn't. Like it's actually still a very new game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we just get so much stuff. But I mean, we can sing the praises of Runeterra all the time, and we will from time to time. But no need to. No, the rest of the show is just us saying good things about Runeterra back and forth now.
Yep. So other change from the patch, the round timer got updated. Did you read into this? Did you check this guy out?
I did. It's we have a time bank now, so you can actually like move faster in the early rounds and get some extra time for the later rounds. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. And like this will hopefully help prevent people from just taking 4,000 hours every single turn. Like turn 1 when they have no mana and like nothing they could play in their regions for 0 mana, and they still take the whole turn. You're like, why? Why?
Yeah. Now, like, you can still do that, but it is actually costing you resources, which is it's nice. I mean, you know, I'm sure, Saucy, you experience this more considering you're a streamer and have a profile. People know like when they're playing against you, and I'm sure people purposely try to troll you. But you know, even in like a competitive setting, it's like, yeah, you can rope for a competitive advantage, I guess, but like it's costing you something now. It's not just like,
Yep, exactly.
well, putting my opponent on tilt gives me a 0.0000001% chance better of winning, so I'm going to do it just to optimize my chances. And it's like, nah. I mean, A, that's probably not true anyway. B, now it's actually costing you something. Like, you actually are rewarded for playing the early turns faster, which is nice, because it's like you're getting people to do the, you know, the quote unquote right thing with honey, not with vinegar, right? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
play your early easier turns faster, you're getting some bank time for later. That's a gift we're giving you, essentially,
rather than like a punishment.
Yeah, which I mean they could do, but yeah. And I'm really excited for this, obviously, with the you know, the seasonal tournament coming up, which they have mentioned a little bit about here too. They've shown the card back and the icon for this, but optimizations for the clock, I think, is something that people have been or for the round timer rather, is something that people have been asking about for a while. But these card backs, they look pretty slick. They look pretty slick for the anyone who gets 3 wins in the tournament will get the tournament competitor card back, and just qualifying will get you the icon, which is like it's like a nice like Champions Cup sort of victory thing.
I really like that too, and it's like it gives you something that not everyone can get, and is less of a feel bad for, you know, if you don't make it, you don't win, right? Like you still get something for competing, which I really like. It was kind of like the there was I don't know how, if they always did it, but they had like DreamHack specific tournament card backs and Hearthstone. Things like that. Like I really like this, and I'd love to see different ones. Like if there are one day when the world's opening in, if there are like physical in-person events, like if you attend, you get special stuff, and like that'd be really cool. I'd love to see things like that.
Yeah, I would love for that. I mean, you can do like special things with partners for Riot and all that stuff. Like it's just really cool. It's so like, it's just a nice thing, right? Like you don't need this card back. I mean, I do. I absolutely need this card back. But you don't need the card back to play the game. It doesn't help you. It's just a cosmetic, and it's a cool cosmetic. I like it. I really do. I like it a lot. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a cool little flex thing for everyone who gets it. Cool.
It looks good. Like I do like the way it looks. Then we got the snowy winter board and snowy Umpa Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of opinions on this guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a lot on Twitter. Like everyone seems to resoundingly like really think it's adorable or cute or whatever. I think it's creepy. It's got that I can't remember
Uncanny
what it's
Valley
called. The Hidden Valley thing. Yeah,
uncanny.
Like
the Hidden Valley.
Yeah, the uncanny.
It's got
the Hidden Valley Ranch.
The Hidden Valley
the Uncanny
Ranch.
Valley.
Yeah.
I always have to remember that by saying Hidden Valley. So it's got the Uncanny Valley, like creepy. It looks like a creepy baby.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't like it, Blevins.
No, I understand that. It's like, oh man, now that you're saying it more, now I kind of see it, because it like looks kind of like a human baby, but not enough like a human baby to think it's a human baby, but not fake enough to make me not think that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and like at the very, like when it's the top down view, it just looks like a kid. And then when it rolls over and you see that it's like a hairy creature, you're like, okay, it's like a Yeti. But it just looks like someone's lost child in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, now I'm seeing it. At least
I've ruined it.
Yeah, you did kind of ruin it a little bit, but at least I'm using the Santa, the like Christmas Oompa. So mine has at least like the little costume. So I mean, I snap bought it. I do. I kind of see the uncanny valley thing. I was in on it. I love Yetis. I think
The
that
Christmas
she's a
one's way
baby.
better.
Yeah, I think she's a baby Yeti.
I don't know.
I'm assuming. I don't know. It looks kind of like the Yeti yearling a little bit, but more like
Yeti
a human.
synergy confirmed.
But more like a human. Yeah, now that you mentioned it, now I like can't unsee it. She looks like a Flintstone baby. Great.
Yeah, kind of.
Thanks, I hate it.
A little bit.
And even has like the Bam Bam thing in the hair too. Okay, thanks, I hate it now. Just kidding. I think
I've now ruined your purchase.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, you're gonna get every what are
Guardian.
Guardian.
I need to now. I have more Guardians than everyone in the top 50 on the Master. On NA Master. I have to keep up that title now.
Yep.
If I can't be in the top 50, I need to at least know that I have the most Guardians of anybody.
I feel like I talk about Little Legends so much with people just constantly that now I always call the Guardians Little Legends.
Everyone does, I think. Everyone that plays TFT calls them Little Legends.
Every interaction I ever have with Mort, I'm like, Umbra plushie win, and then he just like ignores me.
Well, I want a life-size Chonk plushie. That's one thing I want.
Like a beanbag chair.
I want
like
the beanbag Chonk plushie. Yeah.
One of those, like the love sack thing. I want one of those as a
love sack. I don't wait.
Yeah, it's like that's what they call those giant beanbags, like the ones that'll fit like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah,
that are like memory foam on the inside.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Yeah, I do want that for Chonk, like a giant like
Chonk waterbed.
I don't know why that just creeps me out. A Chonk water.
A waterbed full of grape jelly.
The grape jelly Chonk.
Yeah, the grape jelly waterbed Chonk.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up. But that's okay. put Chonk in Legends of Runeterra, you cowards, as a champion. I want him to be. I want him to be a champion in League. I want him to be. Yeah. They really.
Yeah, I don't know enough like about lore or anything in the games to know like how crossover from Little Legends and all that work. But I do want Chonk in Runeterra.
I don't know if Little Legends are like canon in Runeterra, and of course, if they're not, people will cry incessantly that they're in the game. So we can't be having that. So if Chonk is not written in the stone tablets of Runeterra lore, can't be in Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not. But yeah, I mean, that's I think most of the patch player profile. Yeah,
a bunch of expedition changes that someone cares about. Vietnamese language support, that's there now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Actually, I did think this was cool. This is a small thing, but I thought it was cool. The disable motion option now disables certain board features that could negatively affect people that are photosensitive.
Interesting.
I really like that. I think that's really cool because that is something that like people who are sensitive to that, it's things that they complain about, especially like more colorblind features and things like that I think are always good. So I love seeing things like this.
Yeah, I like seeing those things too. It's the type of thing that I take for granted, not being colorblind or having any of those issues. I just don't think about them, but it's nice that Riot is obviously thinking more broadly about the community, which is always a good thing. One thing I wanted to bring up that has to do with the board itself, the Snowy Glade board. It is a great board visually, but KDA board has spoiled me. Like, everything needs to be clickable now. Get like that. I don't want that to be a premium feature. I will pay for it, but like I don't want these old. I can't go from KDA board where I can click and get some sort of like haptic response, not haptic, tactile response.
Yeah.
And then go to a board where I click and I get nothing. I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I need to have a click. Like so it basically means I can only use 2 boards right now, KDA and Spirit Blossom.
I use Spirit Blossom. So I'm gonna go off on a little tangent
Yes.
here. This is stupid, but so I get mad when my opponent doesn't have the KDA board. So when you click your opponent's side, you can click their stuff.
Yep.
And you can I don't know what it is. Like I've got the fidget habit. I think it's from playing Magic where you shuffle your cards incessantly.
And Hearthstone where you can just click the dirt.
When I'm thinking, I click just like incessantly on the board.
Same.
So I don't use the KDA board anymore because when I'm streaming, the music is annoying to edit out. But I like playing with the board music.
Yeah.
But I like it when my opponent has it because I want to click their stuff. So
yeah. I also this has no relevance whatsoever, but I did find out just through trial and error that you can, if you have the KDA board, maybe this may also work on the Spirit Blossom board, but I don't know. If you have the KDA board, you know, you can click and it makes a little every time you click, right? If you have cards out, if you have a card out and you are holding click, normally if you hold click on the board, it will just click one, it'll just give you one. If you are holding click, it'll give you the, and then you hover over a card, and then you hover back over the board while still holding click, it will give you another, it like, the game treats it as though you have re-clicked. So you can like hover over the card and then hover back and like keep moving your mouse back and forth and it'll go. And if you have multiple cards in play and it like has a little like gap in between the cards, so you can like hold click and just run your mouse across all the cards and it'll go like in between each card, it'll go like, and you like, I've been thinking way too much about this because I've been using the
perfect.
You can make some cool, like you can actually get the tempo of the beats faster than you normally could by clicking, because like you have to physically click really fast. You can usually, at least I can, move my mouse left and right faster. So like if I need to have like a build up, and of course I'm making my own symphonies with the clicks while I'm playing, you can get some different tempos and different beats.
I love this.
Using that. Yeah. I'm just letting you know. Riot, please open up the KDA board music creator pack at some point. So we can do some more stuff. But long story short,
maybe that'll be a game mode. There'll be a rhythm, like Beat Saber, or like Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
But they just did that with Kingdom Hearts. They have our Kingdom Hearts rhythm game that just came out like last month or a few weeks ago. So maybe we'll have the Runeterra Labs where it's a rhythm game.
I mean, why not? That would be sweet. That'd be pretty cool.
Perfect.
Long story short, Riot, please don't, like, either just make that a default option where like you can at least click. Let me at least click the snow. I don't care if you don't animate the presents. That's fine. I mean, Hearthstone. I'm just saying Hearthstone. All their boards are all interactable. I'm just saying I'll pay for the boards. I'll pay for the boards. Slow down, will you? Slow down, will you? All I'm saying is that you're only paying me silver now, which means I talk, but for gold, I listen.
Yep, exactly.
We also need to have a podcast where Saucy and I just do card voices for 30 minutes, and that's it. There's no other discussion.
I love this. This seems great. People are disagreeing with us.
Yeah, chat. I just got a message that said chat has disconnected as a whole. Like,
I'll do the whole podcast as Warwick. How's that? This is unrelated. This is a tangent episode. So
it's a Thanksgiving special.
Let us know how the audio sounds because we're trying a new audio solution.
Yes, please do.
But when we were signing up for this audio solution, you create a nickname, and I made mine less talking, more biting.
It's true. I can confirm that is true.
So
that is true. Oh yes. For those of you who are listening and don't know or weren't here for the pre-show, as you probably weren't if you're in podcast land, we've been talking about TFT constantly, and Warwick is in TFT right now, so that's what we're talking about, Warwick.
Yeah, a lot of it. So yeah, that's the rundown of patch. What is it? 1.15? I think just off the top of my head.
1.15. Yes.
So yeah, small improvements, but I know that the especially the collection percentage thing has been big for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's really sweet. I like
Yep.
that a lot, and it makes me happy, I must say.
Yes, it is quite sweet. The other thing I wanted to just mention, and I'm mentioning this with the caveat that I can't really speak any more than just mentioning it, but it was publicly announced in the tournament, the updated FAQ for the seasonal tournament, that the NA partner for the seasonal tournament is Wisdom, aka the company that is the parent company of Giant Slayer, aka the company that I work for. So I'm just putting that out there that is public information. Yeah, like I said, I can't really talk about more details than that. So really didn't there's really I really had no reason to bring that up other than it is public information. And
no, it had to be put out because otherwise it's going to slip up at some point, or like something will get mentioned and then it won't make sense. So now the timestamp this moment in your life, when you're
timestamp
listening,
this moment.
it's happened.
Yes. All I can say about that is stay tuned. Stay tuned. To quote the philosopher Papa John, the pizza philosopher. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Oh my gosh. God, I don't want pizza.
I mean, pizza
the other day. Okay, Blevins.
Nasty. Yes.
I want to talk about something that you've got me hopelessly addicted to.
Okay.
This is your fault, 100%.
Okay.
And it's the only plays pack your bags spell deck.
Yes, that deck is amazing.
Oh my god. I don't know the origin of it or anything, but I was wanting a new fun deck.
Yeah.
What's the actual name? It's Go Hard, right?
Go Hard is the original card, yeah.
Yeah, I always call it Pack Your Bags because that's more
Rack
fun.
Your Bags.
So
yeah.
I was talking to Blevins and I was like, oh, I want to find a cool Go Hard deck. And Blevins like, oh, I got the one for you. So it's the deck. It's the Ionia Shadow Isles deck.
Yes.
And the only spells are Deep Meditation and Pack Your Bags. And all of the cards that tutor for spells.
Yes.
Like the River Shaper guy. Yep. And it is so fun. Now, what makes it good, if you haven't played this deck, maybe we'll can we put like a list somewhere in the show notes or something?
Yeah.
It's in Discord. It is in Discord. Anyways, so if you've never played against the deck, the exciting part of this is when your opponent has not played against this deck,
yes,
because they don't know how it works.
Right.
Because every time you get a spell, it's gonna be a Pack Your Bags.
Yes.
So when you play Deep Meditation, you always pull 2 Pack Your Bags or Go Hards that turn into Pack Your Bags.
Yep.
And like then you get to emote as if you get like luckily pulled it, but you know what it is. Like there's no RNG to it. It is guaranteed. But your opponent gets salty because they're like, I can't believe they got both Go Hards. And it's so good. It is so good.
Yeah, that deck. So I, at the very least, I got the deck from Alan ZQ, who's an EU streamer and competitive player. He was, I don't know if he came up with the deck or if he was just brewing it on stream. I got it from his stream, and it's basically a Shadow Isles Ionia aggressive deck. And then it has the spell package that you mentioned. Yeah, it's got a lot of fearsome.
It's playing Elise.
Yep.
It's Elise and TF. No, it's Elise and what?
I've ran it with both Elise Hecarim and Elise Zed. I've landed on Elise Zed.
That's what it was. Elise.
Yeah, I went from Zed to Hecarim back to Zed. But really, you can play kind of whatever you want. You want to be.
Yeah, you can play it championless too.
You could definitely play it championless. The cool thing is like exactly what you mentioned. People don't necessarily know what to expect, and that is the fun of it, but also the power of it. When you see Ionia, when you originally see Ionia Shadow Isles, I'm thinking, okay, this is like an ephemeral type of list, right? Like maybe the not Stalking Shadows. What's the other? What's the 4-drop one that gives everything
The
ephemeral?
bad card.
Yeah, the card that I wanted to be so good, but really isn't. It could be something like that. It could be like the Mist Wraiths. What's the 5-cost KDA card from Ionia? I forget. But regardless, it could be like a Mist Wraiths type deck. Like, it could be anything, right? You're not necessarily, you don't necessarily know like what is going into it when you queue up against that, right?
Yeah.
And like it's also running some spicy units. It's got 3 Razas in it. Anyone remember? Only 90s kids remember Raza.
Yeah, and like that card itself, like one, literally not a single person on the entire planet ever is going to play around it.
Nope.
Because it's who's playing Rasa. But you play 3. Like
Yeah.
if they're not going to play around 1, they're not playing around 3.
Nope.
It's also playing Ledros.
Yep.
Good old boy Ledros.
Yeah. It's also playing Mina Swiftfoot, who was recently buffed as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty solid. I mean, it plays like a pretty solid aggressive deck, and then it also has the like you can just win with go hards like out of kind of nowhere, especially if like so the first day I played this on NA Ladder, not a single person even had any sort of idea what was going on. Not even a little bit. So like every time I would be getting it, every time I'd be getting the go hard like super early, you'd be like you said, you'd be getting the emote spam. It's like it's so funny because it's all I have.
They're like, oh my gosh, so lucky.
Yeah.
It's so lucky you got the go hard.
So
like,
you're
that's
so
literally
lucky
the only
you drew
spell.
that. I can't believe you drew. Yeah, could not possibly draw anything else. Like actually impossible. That is the biggest strength of the deck. But so the first day I played it, I think I gained roughly 150 LP on ladder. Like I went from like 0. Actually, I probably went from about 40 LP to almost 200 LP in Masters with that. Just like winning constantly, like really high win rate. And like the deck was fun. It's very fun. It's not really like a lot of the other decks that you're going to be playing right now. It does, after playing, dozens of games with it, I am starting to feel the kinks in the armor, so to speak. Yeah. It's not the perfect deck. Well, it is the perfect deck, but it's not infallible, right?
It's also, it can be kind of a mentally fatiguing deck because there's a lot of play, like different play patterns you have to do. And there's a lot of limitation to it. So it's kind of like building a singleton deck. And since you don't have spells other than go hard, like there's a lot of situations you have to kind of like play around and play differently. So it is one like after I play 10 games of it, my brain is tired and I have to go play something else. But it is like I've had some of the most fun moments like ever with that deck. It is it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really rewarding, but you do have to play it. You actually have to very much maximize what you're doing, because like you think about it, when you're normally playing Ionia, you've got a full suite of spells. So like subconsciously, when I'm thinking like, okay, well, I can have some sort of answer to this. If they have a big spell, I'm gonna have either deny or if it's a smaller spell, I'll have Nopeify. Nope, can't play those cards because you don't want your deep med to ever hit them. It's like, okay, well, I can I can have something like Vile Feast to be able to say, nope, can't run it. Oh, Concussive Palm would be really great. Nope, can't run it. Can't run any of those cards in the deck. So you can only run units. So it actually plays out a lot more like the Mist Wraiths deck, where like but you can't play Mist Wraiths because you're playing too many Ionia spell cards for Wraithcaller, and you can't play Stalking Shadows because it's a spell. So like you really are playing a different type of deck. And I agree, Saucy, it can be very mentally exhausting because you also have to like, okay, well, I need to like set up enough damage and I need to bait them into playing out more stuff. I need to like I need to take a little bit of a risk and go super low so that I can cast 3 go hards here and then pack your bags on my turn. So, like, there's a lot of stuff, and you also don't have like any card draw outside of River Shaper, which only draws you go hards and deep meditations.
Yeah, which is, oh my god, that is the all-star of the deck. If it gets to draw twice, your chance of winning goes up exponentially.
Honestly, if it draws once, it's extremely good because if you have, if you have no spells in your hand and you hit that, you have a 50% chance of drawing deep meditation, which is 2 go hards, right? If you draw a go hard, you increase your chances. If you already have a go hard, you increase your chances of drawing deep med, which is always good. Like, you need to hit 4 go hards, right? The 3 original, and then the 4th one is pack your bags. So like 2 deep meds will do it. Though you need to make sure that you cast a go hard before you cast a second deep med, or else there won't be enough to grab.
Yeah.
But like the issue comes where like you don't have an aggressive enough start with your units, and you draw like 2 go hards or like even 3 go hards. Because it's like, okay, if I don't have a River Shaper to like keep getting me more stuff, there's actually no card advantage in the deck, which is sort of the issue there. So it's a deck that, to put a pin in it, it's a deck that's really fun. It's different. I'll post the code in the show notes so you can check it out there. But keep an eye whenever there are new unit cards in Ionia or Shadow Isles that have the word draw card on them.
Yep.
This deck could rear its ugly head. And by ugly, I mean absolutely beautiful, because it is amazing.
Yeah, deck is it's become my new obsession. Love.
Yeah, I will say I got my my Prime Glory this week on Gauntlet, and that was one of my decks, and it did quite good. Actually, that was one. That's what I guess maybe. Let me see how much. What time are we at? Oh wow, we're actually almost at an hour. Crazy. One last thing. Have you played any of the Gauntlets recently, Saucy?
Nope.
Yep.
Sure haven't.
Yeah, the Gauntlets, they're interesting. I played the one this week just to do it. I don't really care if I get the Prime Glory or not. But I played I only bring it up because I played the deck that we just talked about. I played a deck that is a variation on an Earlmeister deck that he called Hodor in the North, which is a Braum. It has Braum, Darius, and I think there's one of Sedge. I think it's 2 Braum, 1 Sedge, 3 Darius. I think maybe there's Draven. Actually, no, it's Draven. It's 3 Braum, 2 Draven, 1 Darius, I think. It's some combination of those 3 champions. I don't remember which. But it's like the Overwhelm. It's like Overwhelm deck. Yeah. And that's really fun. That one.
I was playing the Darius Taric Overwhelmed deck recently with 3 Apprehends. Apprehend is also one of my favorite spells.
Yeah.
Funny enough. It's just so spicy.
Yeah, and again, no one is playing around that. Like, it's not, people are not expecting the Apprehend ever, which is awesome. And then the last deck that I played in my lineup was actually, you bring up Taric Fiora, which plays a lot like Shen Fiora, and I thought it would be just way worse. But actually it wasn't. It kind of feels, I don't want to say better because it kind of attacks a little bit differently, but it felt really good.
I've actually been playing a lot of Shin Fiora. Funny enough, you mentioned it. I hadn't played any Shin since he got the huge buff he got. But yeah, someone's like, hey, you should play some Shin Fiora. Yeah, I haven't seen you play it before. I'm like, I used to play a lot of Shin Fiora in the first and second closed beta, but haven't played since then. But I've been having a lot of fun with the what's the big 9-drop guy, the formation,
Bright Steel Formation.
He's really fun. Yeah, that guy's really fun. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I still I contend. I think Fiora might be my favorite champion, just in terms of design and like the alternate win con and all that. I also think she's really strong in general, especially depending on the meta. If you're playing against a lot of these, spider decks and these discard aggros. It's like, yeah, I love when they play a house spider. That's 2 ticks on my Fiora, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's 50% to win the game.
Yep. Yeah, it's been really, really strong. And I've really liked Tarek too. Like he has been low key. Like the one power that he got has been really, really kind of nice. And really makes him feel like aggressively oriented. He's still not the Tarek that we were promised when we saw him with Playful Trickster.
I know,
still
with Fizz.
I know. I still want it, but someday maybe.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day they'll unnerf him, but I doubt it. But yeah, I've really been liking it. That was my lineup. I did get the Prime Glory there, but yeah, that's been I've been enjoying them all right. It's just a little bit of a a completely different feeling playing on the Gauntlet, because it's like it's not matching you up via MMR. It's just, I think it lines you up with people with the same number of wins. So like, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or speak down of the people that I'm playing in the first 3 rounds of Gauntlets, but like when I'm playing, I mean, I wasn't even playing like super optimized decks, but like I'm playing against like 5 champion, these are the cards I own deck. Like,
yeah.
And like, there are things that like Runeterra is it's a very simple game in terms of understanding, but there's actually a lot of nuances and I think what I would call fundamentals that a lot of the folks listening to this podcast and that are in our community and that play a lot kind of like, okay, well, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna do this into that because I can get completely blown out by this. It's like, yeah, I'm getting like every single one of those complete blowouts like at every opportunity that I could in the first 3 rounds.
Absolutely.
It's like,
perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah, completely destroyed them. But no, I think it's really fun. And I think a lot of people I've been hearing that people have been liking the Gauntlet. So
yeah, they're cool. They're very cool.
Cool. Okay, Saucy, I think we've made it through most of this episode, and
I think we did it.
The voice thing that we're using has worked, which is great.
Yeah, and well, now that you said it, I mean, we haven't hit stop yet. It could just completely shit the bed.
Is it still? Wait, is it still working? is it still? No, I'm pressing the wrong button. Oh, there we go. Is it still working right?
Yeah, it sounds great.
It sounds great. Okay, good.
It's not better. Like, did you turn up the clarity or?
I botched my botch. That's how this is going. But Saucy, anything else that we want to talk about before we go before our little holiday here?
No, man, I don't think so. Yeah, nothing official for on air. Maybe we'll have some unofficial stuff after the show.
Oh yeah. Me neither. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. If you're in the U.S. or anywhere, have a happy Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. Happy holidays. Stay safe and such. Saucy, where can people find you on the internet when you're not here?
Yeah, you can just find me saucymailman.com. That's the hub for all of my stuff. It's on there. There it is.
That's where it is. Well, you can find me at @the_Blevins on Twitter. You can find the show at Runeterrable on Twitter, runeterrable.com, DeckPics.Live. Best place to find us, though, is discord.me/Runeterrable Radio. Of course, if you want to support us like Pug Ugly this week did, go to patreon.com/Runeterrable Radio. But that is gonna be it. We'll be back I think next, there's no craziness. We'll be back next week. I'm trying to think now.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll be back next week, come rain, sleet, snow, or hail, because we are the post office of Runeterra podcasts.
I
don't know where I'm going. We'll be back next week and talk about some more Legends of Runeterra. Wow, 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 wow.